5 signs you're dealing with an evil narcissist. Have you ever found yourself caught in the web of someone who seems to have an uncanny ability to manipulate, control, and emotionally drain you? Perhaps they appear charming and full of life in public, but behind closed doors, their true nature reveals itself in cruel, unrelenting ways. If you've encountered someone like this, you might be dealing with an evil narcissist, someone who is capable of wreaking havoc on your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. But how do you know for sure if you're facing someone who is truly evil, as opposed to just a difficult or self-centered individual? In this video, we're going to delve into 5 clear signs that indicate you're dealing with an evil narcissist. Someone whose behavior goes beyond the realm of ordinary narcissism and enters a realm of toxicity and harm. These signs are crucial for recognizing the patterns of behavior that narcissists often hide behind charming facades. The more you understand about narcissism and its darker variants, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself, set boundaries, and navigate these relationships with confidence. If you've ever wondered if you're trapped in a relationship with someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart, or if you found yourself emotionally exhausted and questioning your reality, this video will offer valuable insight into why that is. But before we dive into these signs, I invite you to take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this content with anyone you think may benefit from it. Narcissistic abuse is an issue many suffer from in silence, and spreading awareness can help us all recognize the toxic relationships that are poisoning our lives. Let's get started. Understanding the difference between a narcissist and an evil narcissist is critical because it can have a profound impact on how you navigate relationships and protect your mental and emotional health. Narcissism, in general, is characterized by self-centeredness, a lack of empathy, and a need for constant admiration and validation. However, the term evil narcissist is reserved for individuals whose behavior extends far beyond mere self-absorption. An evil narcissist doesn't just manipulate for personal gain. They thrive on causing harm, suffering, and confusion in others. Their cruelty isn't accidental. It's often deliberate and destructive. Number 1. Relentless manipulation and gaslighting. One of the most defining characteristics of a truly malevolent narcissist is their persistent use of manipulation and gaslighting, tactics that go far beyond the usual narcissistic behaviors. While it's true that most narcissists manipulate others to serve their own needs, a truly evil narcissist takes this to a whole new level by making gaslighting their primary and most effective tool for control. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where the narcissist distorts reality in such a way that you begin to doubt your own perceptions, memories, and even your sanity. They deliberately twist facts, deny past actions, and dismiss your feelings to confuse you, often leaving you unsure of what is real and what is not. At first, this distortion might seem small or even insignificant. However, as time goes on, the narcissist escalates their tactics, undermining your confidence and your sense of self. The constant confusion that gaslighting creates erodes your ability to trust your own mind, making you dependent on the narcissist's version of events, which is often warped and self-serving. Their goal is to slowly strip you of your personal power, leaving you feeling like you cannot trust yourself. In doing so, they weaken your ability to make decisions, or even form clear opinions, making you more vulnerable to their control. An evil narcissist will deny things they've said or done, even when confronted with undeniable proof of their actions. They might turn around and accuse you of being forgetful, overreacting, or even imagining things. This persistent denial causes you to constantly question your own memory and perception, and over time, you might start to feel like you're losing touch with reality. The emotional strain of this constant manipulation is immense, and in severe cases, it can lead to serious mental health consequences, including anxiety, depression, and a complete loss of personal identity. The narcissist's cruel manipulation ultimately leaves you emotionally drained and psychologically shattered, as you struggle to make sense of the world around you. Number 2, a complete absence of empathy. A key characteristic that separates an evil narcissist from others is their total and utter lack of empathy. While other narcissists might possess a superficial or shallow understanding of other people's feelings, an evil narcissist is incapable of truly connecting with or understanding anyone else's emotional state. They are not simply indifferent to your suffering, they actively disregard it. In fact, they may even take pleasure in watching you experience pain and discomfort, especially if it reinforces their sense of control over you. When you find yourself emotionally distressed, struggling with personal issues, or dealing with a difficult situation, the last thing you can expect from an evil narcissist is compassion or support. Rather than offering comfort or reassurance, they will belittle you, mock you, or even criticize you for feeling upset. If you dare to express your emotional pain, they may respond by turning the conversation back onto themselves, dismissing your feelings entirely. They rarely acknowledge the hurt of others, and when they do, it is often with sarcasm or mockery. This cruel lack of empathy is one of the most devastating aspects of dealing with an evil narcissist. It leaves you feeling completely isolated and unheard, as though your emotions are irrelevant, or worse, burdensome to them. You begin to feel as though there is no one you can turn to for comfort, no one who truly cares about your well-being, and the emotional loneliness this creates is often unbearable. Number 3, creating chaos and dividing relationships. One of the most damaging tactics employed by an evil narcissist is their ability to manipulate and create chaos in the relationships that are most important to you. While other narcissists may attempt to isolate you from your support network in order to control you, an evil narcissist takes this further by deliberately sowing discord between you and your friends, family, or colleagues. They know that keeping you isolated and cut off from others strengthens their control over you, and they will stop at nothing to ensure that you have no external sources of support, love, or validation. An evil narcissist will fabricate stories, twist your words, and spread rumors to make you appear unstable, irrational, or untrustworthy. They may distort the truth in ways that make you seem like the problem, not them. By doing so, they gradually undermine your relationships with those around you, creating rifts and confusion that distance you from your loved ones. The narcissist will manipulate situations to their advantage, ensuring that you are left feeling unsupported, alienated, and unable to trust those who once had your back. They may turn your friends against you, make you feel like you're being judged or misunderstood, and even make you question who you can truly rely on. The result is a deep sense of emotional and social isolation, which ultimately forces you to depend more and more on the narcissist for validation, approval, and guidance. Number 4, charismatic charm used as a weapon. Evil narcissists are incredibly adept at using their charm and charisma to manipulate and control others. Unlike overt narcissists, who are more obvious in their quest for admiration and attention, an evil narcissist uses their charm as a covert weapon to disarm and deceive those around them. They know exactly how to make you feel special, important, and even loved, but this display of affection and attention is never genuine. Instead, it is a calculated tactic to draw you in and make you believe they have your best interests at heart. The goal is simple: to gain your trust and loyalty, so they can use you to fulfill their own needs and desires. Whether they want to gain power, access resources, or feed their own inflated sense of ego, they will exploit your emotions and vulnerabilities to achieve their objectives. This charm, however, is not meant to last. Once the narcissist has used you to fulfill their immediate needs, they will discard you without any hesitation or remorse. The moment you no longer serve a purpose for them, they will turn their back on you, leaving you feeling used, betrayed, and emotionally drained. This cycle of idealization, where they elevate you and make you feel cherished, followed by devaluation, where they dismiss or even demean you, creates a deep sense of emotional whiplash. The rapid shifts between these two extremes leave you confused and disoriented, unable to understand what happened or why they turned so cold. This unpredictable behavior is emotionally devastating, as it keeps you in a constant state of uncertainty, never knowing whether you are truly valued or simply being used for their own gain. Number 5. Vindictiveness and a desire for revenge. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you challenge an evil narcissist or expose their behavior in any way, be prepared for them to retaliate in the most vindictive and destructive manner possible. They are highly sensitive to perceived threats to their image or sense of control, and they will go to great lengths to destroy anyone who dares to challenge them. Their sense of superiority and entitlement means they believe they can do no wrong, and any attempt to call them out or stand up to them is seen as a direct attack on their inflated ego. As a result, they will seek revenge with a relentless intensity, using any means necessary to make sure you suffer for daring to expose them. Their retaliation can take many forms, and it's never a simple matter of getting even. Instead, an evil narcissist will escalate their manipulation, spreading lies, gossip, and falsehoods to ruin your reputation and destroy your credibility. They may employ cruel tactics designed to isolate you from your support network, creating more chaos and confusion in your life. Whether it's using emotional manipulation, financial pressure, or social sabotage, they will exploit every possible weapon in their arsenal to regain control and ensure you never stand up to them again. This desire for revenge is driven by their need to maintain power, dominance, and an unchallenged sense of superiority. The narcissist's ultimate goal is to make you fear them, to silence you, and to prevent you from ever taking any action that might threaten their hold over you. By making you afraid to speak out or set boundaries, they create a toxic environment where fear and intimidation dictate your every move. This form of fear-based control wears you down emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, leaving you feeling drained, helpless, and powerless. The relationship becomes one-sided and suffocating, with the narcissist calling all the shots and using their vengeance to keep you in line. Recognizing these signs of narcissistic abuse is crucial to protecting yourself and preventing further harm. Dealing with an evil narcissist can feel like an exhausting and soul-crushing experience, but the more you understand their manipulative tactics, the better equipped you will be to break free from their destructive grip. It is important to remember that narcissistic abuse is not your fault. You are not to blame for the narcissist's behavior, no matter how convincing their manipulation may seem. If you find yourself in a relationship with an evil narcissist, it's essential to take action to protect yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Recognizing the signs early and understanding their strategies gives you the power to reclaim your life. You don't have to endure the toxicity of their manipulation any longer. By setting clear boundaries, seeking support from trusted individuals, and taking steps to prioritize your well-being, you can break free from the emotional prison they've created. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it has provided you with valuable insights into the destructive behavior of evil narcissists. Understanding these signs and tactics can help you navigate these difficult and harmful relationships, and ultimately help you reclaim your sense of self. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like it, subscribe to our channel, and share it with anyone who may benefit from learning more about the signs of narcissistic abuse. Remember, narcissistic relationships are toxic, and the more aware you are of these signs, the better equipped you will be to protect yourself and regain control of your life. Take care of yourselves, and remember, you have the power to reclaim your life and your happiness. 7 sexual sins with the most terrifying narcissists in the Bible that God hates. In a world where narcissism can often feel like a plague, it's essential to understand the most destructive behaviors tied to narcissistic personalities, especially when it comes to spiritual and moral realms. If we turn to the Bible, we see examples of individuals whose actions led to destruction not only of themselves, but also those around them. These figures committed sins that were not only narcissistic in nature, but also horrifically damaging to the fabric of their relationships and their relationship with God. But what were the specific sexual sins committed by these narcissistic figures in the Bible? And why are they considered so terrifying and hateful to God? Today, we're diving deep into these historical and spiritual lessons, understanding the darker side of narcissism through the lens of the Bible, particularly focusing on the sexual sins committed by the most narcissistic figures in biblical stories. These sins are not just offences to human dignity. They represent an affront to the divine will and order. So, as we explore the 7 sexual sins with the most terrifying narcissists in the Bible that God hates, you'll find not just cautionary tales, but also insights into how narcissistic behaviors impact both the individual and their relationship with the divine. Before we delve in, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Narcissism is often a hidden, destructive force in relationships, and by spreading this awareness, we can help others understand the devastating spiritual impact of such behaviors. So, grab a seat, settle in, and let's uncover these dark stories from the Bible. Number 1. King David. A king's fall from grace. The first individual to examine is King David, one of the most pivotal and multifaceted figures in the Bible. He was a warrior, a king, and a man who, despite his immense influence, was also deeply flawed. Known for his faith and devotion, David was often described as a man after God's own heart, beloved by God and chosen to lead Israel. However, his story also underscores one of the most infamous moments of moral failure in biblical history, making him one of the most complex characters to study. The tale of David and Bathsheba serves as a profound example of narcissistic behavior, demonstrating how even those closest to God are not immune to the allure of power and self-indulgence. Already a powerful king, David's narcissism began to take hold when he saw Bathsheba, the beautiful wife of Uriah, one of his loyal soldiers. David, who had everything a man could desire, was not content with what he had. His gaze lingered on Bathsheba, and what began as a fleeting attraction turned into an obsession. Despite the fact that she was married, David saw an opportunity to satisfy his desires and assert his control over her. In this moment, he used his royal power to manipulate Bathsheba into an affair, disregarding her rights, her autonomy, and the vows she had made to her husband. This was a clear abuse of power, with David prioritizing his own satisfaction over the well-being of others. The situation escalated dramatically when Bathsheba discovered she was pregnant. Faced with the consequences of his actions, David's narcissistic tendencies only intensified. Rather than accepting responsibility for the affair, he sought to cover up his transgression. In a callous and calculated move, David arranged for Uriah to be sent to the front lines of battle, where he knew he would be killed. This act of orchestrating murder to protect his reputation reveals the depth of David's self-centeredness and disregard for human life. His narcissism led him to believe that he could act with impunity, believing that his status as king meant he was above the consequences of his actions. The aftermath of David's actions was catastrophic. His personal life spiraled into chaos, and his family was torn apart by betrayal, violence, and the heartbreaking death of the child Bathsheba carried. David's world, once secure and prosperous, was shattered, and he was forced to face the reality of his narcissistic choices. God did not allow David's behavior to go unpunished, and the consequences of his actions were harsh. However, David's story is also one of redemption. His deep repentance and return to God's grace serve as a testament to the power of genuine remorse and the possibility of forgiveness,